Hey, y'all, welcome back to Inside the Barrel. I'm Double J.
I'm Big H.
I'm Nathan.
Nate Dog.
Nate Dog.
Where we at?
On location again. Special friend's house.
Oh.
Actually in the cigar bar. Right?
Oh, absolutely.
We're sitting down, we're lounging. We do not have cigars here, but we are coming to you with a special episode today. We've seen other people do this episode, so we kind of wanted to do it too. There's a lot of people that have done this kind of challenge. So this is the, I don't know, this is like the race of the horses or which four-legged animal is best. I'm not really sure what you want to call it. But we are comparing today, this isn't a blind, we're just going to do a comparison here of Blanton Single Barrel and Caribou Crossing. Single barrel.
Yeah.
So both unopened bottles. So I am opening this bottle.
Doing our best to open bottles here. So
Tell us a little bit about the Blanton.
Talk a little bit about this. So Blanton's, right, distilled and bottled at Buffalo Trace, Frankfort, Kentucky.
Hold one moment.
It is a single barrel whiskey. Blanton's likes to make the claim that they are the original single barrel bourbon whiskey. I think it came out in around 1984. They were really kind of the first ones that kind of pioneered bringing back single barrel whiskeys. You got to go back to like the 1800s when people were making whiskey. Everything at that point was a single barrel. Got to the point where commercialization came around, everything started getting blended. Blanton's was the first one that really kind of came back and started to really promote that single barrel type concept. Mash bill, nobody really knows, it's a secret, but rumored to be somewhere in that 12 to 15% high, so it's a high rye mash bill. Proof comes in at 93 on the Blantons. There is no age statement on Blantons. I think they do, don't they put in there, they tell you when they bottled it, when they
this
dumped it, all that
particular
kind of
one was
stuff,
dumped on 2/9 of 22, so it's been sitting on my shelf for a couple of years.
Okay. And the price, MSRP, anywhere from $70, $80 if you can find it.
It's really climbing up.
You're going to be probably closer to about $175,
cool
$200
bottle
if
shape,
I had to guess on the secondary.
Great topper. You know, that's kind of where we're at. Battle of the toppers here. If you want a little horse race.
Yep.
Or if you want
Caribou.
to go to the north.
Alberta.
Yep.
Caribou.
So, jumping over to Caribou. So Caribou, also a single barrel. Caribou actually, they claim to be the one that pioneered the first Canadian single barrel whiskey. So distilled in Alberta, Canada. It is aged in oak barrels. There is they bottle it twice a year. 2 times they take that distillate down to Buffalo Trace in Frankfort, and it actually gets bottled at the Buffalo Trace distillery. It is a single barrel whiskey. So same thing, mash bill not disclosed. Proof is a little bit less on the Caribou. It's actually an 80 proof. Age statement minimum 3 years. And again, if you can find it, price about $50. I'd say probably on the secondary, this is probably running close to like 80 to 90.
Yeah.
Sometimes
so
maybe $100.
Not quite half, but definitely a value price compared to the Blanton.
As it relates to the stoppers, most people know that as you go through the Blanton stoppers, there's 8 different stoppers.
What do we got
I believe
there?
each one of them have a different letter on them.
Yep.
This
And
is
if
the
you-
N.
You put them all together.
Nate Dog.
Wait,
Nate Dog.
Is it the first N or the second N?
It is the first N because the second N has a little
Apostrophe.
apostrophe.
There you go.
So
Very good.
first N.
First N. And if you actually put them all together, that actually shows the horse running through the sequence of the races. It's a running horse. So Caribou, it's pretty much the same moose.
It's actually not a moose. It's a caribou.
Oh, it's a caribou.
Great point.
Great point. Thanks,
Thanks,
Double J. I was just going to go affectionately and name him Bullwinkle, but we'll stick with caribou.
So that was kind of battle of the bottles there. It's preference up to you guys whether you want a horse or a caribou, as Double J points out.
We also didn't talk. Both of them have wax.
Yep.
Oh, wax.
Difference between black wax and blue wax.
I was a little nervous pulling off the wax to get the toppers off, but we got through it.
Yeah, we got through it.
Did fine. So easy to get through those. So we've got Blantons on our left, Caribou on our right. I can just tell you I've been nosing them a little bit. This Caribou seems a little sweeter to me. Does that make sense to you guys?
Wait till
you pull.
Try it and see what you think. I think
I'm just
I
talking
get
nose at this point.
I get a little bit of smoke, charcoal-y out of Caribou, and I get less out of Blanton's. I get.
The minute you said that,
You get the charcoal, smoky charcoal maybe? I'm not sure.
That I started to. Yeah. All right, I'm going in for taste.
So you did Blanton's first.
Yeah, I did. You did Caribou.
I did Caribou first. What'd you do?
I did Caribou first. I have this theory that whenever we do a blind, we always like whatever we drink first.
We can test that theory today. It's not a blind. But
It's not blind.
Definitely. They're distinctly different.
distinctly different.
Yes.
So
I like them both, though.
Blanton's, everybody loves Blanton's. It could be because of the bottle. It could be because of Buffalo Trace. That's actually really good bourbon.
Yep.
I
Absolutely.
mean, it's really good. It's not, let's pitch a tent in front of the liquor store
It's
for
not $200. It's not $200 good, but if you could find that bottle on the shelf for
$100.
$75.
75, $100.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'd pay 100. Yeah.
I
I'd pay
have.
100. I wouldn't knock you guys over to get it, but I'd pay 100.
Outside of the hype, would you pay 100? If that thing just suddenly became available and you could go to the store and there was
Do I
100,
get the cool bottle? And
there was
the
100
topper?
bottles on the shelf,
And I can
anytime
buy
you
all
walk
the
in
bottles,
and
the BLA.
if you bought them, you could buy them all. You could buy everything you want. And
I would make
there
sure-
was no like, wow, I got a bottle of Blanton's. Like I did well today because you could just get it whenever you want.
I would make
Would you
sure.
still spend $100 for it?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
one.
No. I'd buy the whole set, spell out Blanton's, as long as I could get all the letters,
Fair,
and I'd spend the money.
fair. Because that's a cool deal too.
Yeah, that's cool to say, hey, in my collection, I've got every single bottle, every single letter. That I would do
Would
that.
you?
It tastes good. I don't think it's $100 tastes good.
Okay.
It's worth it to me. I would do it just because the novelty of it, the story behind it, so on and so forth. I would do
So
it.
what about the Caribou? What would you do with the
fruit.
Caribou?
There's a lot more fruit in that Caribou.
Yeah, I've got 3 bottles now. I love it.
Love it.
It's amazing.
Better than Blanton's?
I'm beginning to think Canadian whiskey out of Alberta. I like that, and I thought I'd never say that. I mean, I like them both, but I do like Caribou. It's one of my go-tos on my shelf.
It's not bad. It's different. It's definitely different. My profile probably leans a little bit more towards the Blanton's.
Is Canadian? I mean, you guys might know better than me, but is Canadian whiskey more fruity, more smoky than?
It's a single barrel, so I mean, we could buy another barrel. We could add another bottle. It could
Great
taste
point.
completely different depending on how it
Okay.
was aged and where
I
it was
see.
aged in the rick house and all that kind of stuff.
And they don't tell you
Typically-
a dump date on here.
Yeah.
Or they don't give you as
They don't
much
tell you,
information
yeah.
as they did on the Blanton's.
Typically, all
Really cool
your
bottle,
Canadians
though.
all blended whiskey.
Really cool bottle. But yeah, it's all blended whiskey.
And I've heard several. I mean, even in Canada, when I go over there, this is the Blanton's of Canada.
Yeah.
That's what they tell me, and I like it. It's tasty. It's in my rotation. I really
You're
like
probably going here. I'm probably going here. Again, hopefully by now you guys have figured out all of our profiles and know who you align with best out of the 3 of us. But Big H, if you're going to do a tiebreaker, are you picking Caribou or are you picking Blanton's?
If the bottles are priced exactly the same and I'm going on taste alone, I'm going to go with Blanton's.
Okay.
Just the taste profile. If I'm buying them at MSRP, it's probably a tie. If I'm buying them at secondary, I'm going to go Caribou all day.
I like the way you put that. I like the way you put
I can't with the Blanton's at the price that it's going on secondary. So
Okay.
I don't- Give us some comments, folks. Let
us know what
I mean,
you think.
You guys have probably had both of them, so let us know what you guys think and how you guys would rate that.
This has
as well.
been a really fun episode. Thanks to our special friend for letting us do this. This was actually his idea. He's a big fan of both. He's got a lot of the different expressions of the
he's
blends
got
that come
the
from.
gold and straight from the barrel, and he's got 3 or 4 of the.
He's got the
one that
blue,
comes
he's got
out.
the
Oh,
green,
blue,
he's
the
got-
And all that. So big
Red
blends.
He's a
fan.
big
But
Blanton's
he's
guy.
also a big
Caribou.
guy. He
Yeah.
loves it a lot. So again, great place to hang out, have a couple drinks. Thank you, special friend. But give us the comments what you think or maybe what we missed. In the meantime, subscribe to the channel. We'll be back on location in a lot of different places.
Tell
And
a
back
friend.
at Big H Bar.
We are going back.
Yes, we're going back to Big H Bar.
Tell a friend.
Toodaloo.
Toodaloo.